At last, the Sigma male speaks the unspoken truth about women, not with the brash aggression of a man trying to prove a point, but with the quiet, electrifying certainty of someone who has seen through the illusions. This isn't another rehashed list of dating hacks or tired pickup artist tactics. It's a raw, piercing revelation that flips the entire script on how men understand attraction, connection, and power. For most men, relationships are a maze of confusion, endless decoding of mixed signals, overanalyzing texts, and performing mental gymnastics to keep a woman's interest. But for the Sigma, the chase stops. The fog clears. The exhausting games dissolve into irrelevance. Why? Because he sees the truth that others miss. Women don't need to be figured out. They respond to authenticity, presence, and unshakable self-assurance, not manipulation, mind games, or desperate attempts to please. This shift in perspective doesn't come from reading a book or listening to a podcast. It's forged in the fires of experience, often after a soul-crushing heartbreak that shatters old beliefs. Psychology supports this. Pain can act as a catalyst for transformation, breaking down outdated mental models and forcing a rewiring of perception. Or perhaps it comes from years of silent observation, standing apart from the noise, watching the patterns of human behavior that most men miss in their frantic pursuit of validation. Social psychology research confirms what the Sigma male instinctively knows: authenticity and inner confidence resonate far deeper than any scripted charm or calculated strategy. The Sigma's breakthrough is realizing that relationships aren't puzzles to be solved, they're connections built on truth, intention, and emotional presence. Once this realization hits, there's no going back. Most men remain trapped in cycles of neediness, overthinking, or performance, forever chasing, forever guessing. But the Sigma? He steps beyond it. He operates from a place of quiet power, centered, sharp, and unbothered by the chaos around him. This isn't just about dating. It's about a fundamental shift in how a man moves through the world. When he stops seeking validation and starts embodying his true self, everything changes: his confidence, his relationships, his sense of purpose. The Sigma doesn't convince women to want him, he inspires their attraction by simply being who he is. So, the question isn't whether this mindset works, it's whether you're ready to embrace it. Because once you do, there's no returning to the old way of thinking. This is more than a dating strategy. It's a philosophy of self-mastery, clarity, and unshakable power. The Sigma doesn't play the game. He rewrites the rules. Let's get into it. Number 1, the power of independence and space. Women are naturally drawn to a man who embodies true independence, not in the sense of emotional detachment or an unwillingness to connect, but in the ability to thrive in his own space. Independence is about self-sufficiency, confidence, and the comfort of being alone without feeling lonely. Sigma males exemplify this trait effortlessly. Unlike those who fear silence or constantly seek validation through interaction, Sigmas view solitude as an opportunity for growth, reflection, and self-renewal. Psychological studies support this, showing that individuals who embrace alone time tend to have higher emotional intelligence, greater self-awareness, and a stronger sense of inner peace. Sigmas use solitude to recharge, sharpen their focus, and pursue their passions without external distractions. Women notice this quality because it signals a man who isn't needy or clingy, someone who has a fulfilling life outside the relationship. However, independence should never be mistaken for emotional unavailability. Some men misinterpret it as shutting others out, but true independence means being secure enough to express emotions without losing oneself in the process. A Sigma male strikes this balance perfectly. He values his freedom and personal space while remaining open and present in relationships. This equilibrium fosters deeper connections built on mutual respect, trust, and genuine interest rather than dependency or control. A practical way to apply this principle is by avoiding overcommunication. Research in relationship dynamics suggests that excessive texting or calling can actually diminish attraction, as it may signal insecurity or a lack of purpose outside the relationship. Instead, maintaining a sense of mystery, allowing her to wonder about your life and giving her space to miss you, creates intrigue and keeps the connection exciting. The key is to invite her into your world, not as someone who completes you, but as someone who enhances an already fulfilling life. This self-assured approach is undeniably magnetic, making a Sigma male stand out in a world where neediness and validation seeking are all too common. Number 2, authenticity over perfection. In a world obsessed with curated perfection, flawless Instagram feeds, idealized lifestyles, and relentless self-improvement, authenticity stands out as a rare and captivating trait. Women, who are often more perceptive to emotional energy than men realize, are instinctively drawn to genuine, unfiltered personalities. They value realness over rehearsed charm because authenticity fosters trust, emotional safety, and deeper connections. Sigma males understand this instinctively. They reject the exhausting pursuit of perfection, recognizing that it's not only unsustainable but also unattractive. Instead, they embrace their quirks, imperfections, and unique individuality without apology. From a psychological perspective, humans are wired to respond positively to authenticity. Studies in social psychology reveal that genuine self-expression strengthens relationships by creating a foundation of trust and mutual understanding. When a person drops the facade and reveals their true self, flaws and all, it's refreshing and disarming. Sigma males embody this principle by being unapologetically themselves, whether that means wearing unconventional fashion, admitting mistakes, or expressing unconventional opinions. Their confidence isn't rooted in external validation but in self-acceptance. Perfection, on the other hand, is a facade, an illusion that demands constant upkeep. Striving for it is draining, stifles true self-expression, and often comes across as artificial. Authenticity, however, is inviting. It's the difference between a man who carefully crafts every word to impress and one who speaks his mind with quiet confidence. Imagine a Sigma male confidently pairing socks with sandals, fully aware that some might judge him, yet he does it anyway because he genuinely doesn't care about others' opinions. That level of self-assurance is magnetic because it communicates, I am secure in who I am, and I don't need your approval to exist. Ultimately, perfection is a fleeting illusion, but authenticity leaves a lasting impression. Sigma males who embrace their true selves create an irresistible allure, one that no polished, socially conditioned persona can replicate. In a world full of filters and facades, being real is the ultimate power move. Number 3, emotional intelligence, the Sigma's hidden language. Sigma males possess an almost uncanny ability to understand women because they've mastered the unspoken dialects of human connection. Modern neuroscience reveals that only 7% of communication occurs through words, the remaining 93% consists of tone, body language, and emotional energy. Women, who typically score higher on emotional intelligence assessments according to studies published in the Journal of Personality Assessment, communicate through this rich tapestry of nonverbal cues that many men fail to fully comprehend. The Sigma's advantage lies in his highly developed emotional radar. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that successful relationships depend on emotional bids, those subtle attempts to connect that often go unnoticed. Where most men hear just words, the Sigma perceives the symphony beneath, the slight tension in her shoulders indicating stress, the micro-expressions flashing across her face, the emotional subtext coloring her tone. His secret? He listens with his whole being, maintaining steady eye contact that communicates presence, mirroring body language to build rapport, and picking up on the emotional frequencies most people miss. Consider the groundbreaking work of psychologist John Gottman, whose research revealed that women raise issues not necessarily to seek solutions, but to feel understood. When a woman shares work frustrations, the typical male response of, "Here's what you should do," triggers what psychologists call solution fatigue. The Sigma, however, responds differently. By saying, "That sounds frustrating. Tell me more," he activates what neuroscientists call the social engagement system, creating a neurobiological state of safety and connection. This approach stems from what Daniel Goleman's emotional intelligence research identifies as empathic accuracy, the ability to precisely identify and respond to another's emotional state. The Sigma's emotional fluency creates what attachment theorists call a secure base, an environment where women feel safe to express their full emotional range. Unlike men who view emotional conversations as problems to solve, Sigmas understand them as opportunities to deepen connection. They've mastered the art of active constructive responding, a technique shown in positive psychology research to strengthen relationships by fully engaging with positive emotions while providing empathetic support during challenging ones. Number 4, the Sigma's core understanding, women are not a prize to win. The Sigma male's revolutionary approach to relationships begins with a paradigm shift that eludes most men, the understanding that women are complete human beings, not achievements to unlock. This fundamental principle separates Sigmas from the majority who operate under what sociologists call the scarcity paradigm, viewing women as rare prizes in a competitive dating marketplace. Psychological research from Stanford University reveals that men who objectify women activate different neural pathways than those who perceive them as equals. The Sigma's brain shows remarkable activity in areas associated with person perception rather than object perception. This neurological difference manifests in behavior. Where other men might deploy manipulative game tactics from pickup artist playbooks, the Sigma engages authentically because his motivation springs from intrinsic rather than extrinsic validation. Studies in motivational psychology demonstrate the stark contrast between these approaches. Extrinsic motivation, seeking validation through sexual conquests or partner acquisition, triggers what's known as the overjustification effect, where the pursuit itself undermines genuine connection. Intrinsic motivation, valuing connection for its own sake, creates what positive psychologists call authentic relational functioning, interactions marked by mutual growth and understanding. The Sigma's egalitarian perspective aligns with findings from Harvard's longitudinal study on adult development, which identified mutual respect as the single strongest predictor of relationship satisfaction. His ability to see women as complete individuals rather than romantic objectives creates what attachment theorists term a secure attachment style, fostering relationships built on trust rather than possession. This mindset shift creates a powerful magnetic effect documented in social psychology research. The law of least effort suggests that people are most attracted to those who aren't desperately seeking approval. By cultivating what humanistic psychologists call unconditional self-worth, the Sigma becomes what dating researchers term a high-value man, not because of superficial markers, but through genuine self-assurance that makes pursuit unnecessary. The implications extend beyond dating. A University of Chicago study found that men with this egalitarian mindset reported 37% higher relationship satisfaction and 42% greater life fulfillment. The Sigma's understanding transforms romantic interactions from transactional exchanges to meaningful connections, proving that true power lies not in conquest, but in the courage to relate authentically. Number 5. Balancing leadership and respect. A defining hallmark of the Sigma male is his ability to seamlessly blend leadership with deep respect, a rare equilibrium that fosters both attraction and emotional safety. Unlike traditional alpha dominance, which often relies on overt control, or passive indifference, which lacks direction, the Sigma's approach is one of quiet authority and conscious collaboration. Social psychology underscores that women are drawn to partners who offer both decisiveness and emotional security, someone who can take the reins without dismissing their autonomy. The Sigma male embodies this balance effortlessly, understanding that true leadership isn't about being the loudest or most commanding presence in the room, but about knowing when to guide and when to yield. This dynamic plays out in subtle yet powerful ways. Consider how a Sigma plans a date. Rather than unilaterally deciding every detail, which can feel domineering, or leaving all choices to her, which can signal passivity, he strikes a middle ground. He might say, "I've been wanting to try this new restaurant, but I also heard about a great jazz bar. Which one sounds better to you?" This approach demonstrates initiative without imposition, showing that he's thoughtful enough to prepare options while still valuing her input. Studies in relational psychology confirm that this kind of collaborative decision-making strengthens connection, as it fosters mutual investment in shared experiences. Respect is the foundation of this leadership style. Research consistently shows that boundary awareness and emotional safety are critical in building trust. When a woman feels her opinions and comfort levels are genuinely considered, she becomes more open to vulnerability and deeper connection. At the same time, decisiveness prevents the frustration of ambiguity, a trait linked to higher relationship satisfaction. The Sigma male's ability to lead with clarity while honoring her agency creates a rare dynamic where both partners feel empowered, not controlled, not neglected, but seen and valued in equal measure. Ultimately, the Sigma's leadership isn't about authority for authority's sake. It's about creating a space where mutual respect and authentic partnership thrive, a dynamic that doesn't just attract women but sustains meaningful, lasting connections. Number 6. The power of meaningful communication. Communication is where the Sigma male truly separates himself from the crowd. While many men mistake constant chatter for connection or retreat into stoic silence, the Sigma understands that depth, not volume, is what forges real bonds. Social psychology research affirms that authentic, substantive conversations, not just exchanges of words, are what build trust, intimacy, and emotional investment. Women, like all people, crave this level of engagement. Studies in relationship science reveal that meaningful dialogue significantly enhances feelings of closeness and relational satisfaction compared to superficial small talk. The Sigma's communication style is deliberate. He doesn't speak to fill silence but to create understanding. When he listens, he does so actively, absorbing not just words but tone, pauses, and unspoken emotions. When he responds, his words carry weight because they're filtered through empathy and emotional intelligence. Compare the impact of a generic, "How was your day?" a question that often invites a reflexive, "fine," with something more intentional, like, "What was the most interesting part of your day?" or, "Did anything surprise you today?" These questions invite storytelling and reflection, transforming a routine exchange into a moment of genuine connection. This approach creates a safe space for vulnerability, a critical factor in deepening attraction. Neuroscience shows that when people feel truly heard, their brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which fosters trust and affection. The Sigma male leverages this by prioritizing quality over quantity in conversation. A single well-considered question can reveal more about a person's passions, fears, or humor than hours of idle chatter. This is why women often describe conversations with Sigmas as refreshing or different from other guys, because they're engaging with someone who values substance over performance. Beyond romance, this philosophy extends to all areas of life. The Sigma male demonstrates that true connection isn't about having the most to say, but about making what you say matter. In a world drowning in noise and shallow interactions, his ability to listen deeply and speak with purpose becomes a rare and magnetic quality, one that doesn't just attract women but cultivates relationships built on authenticity, understanding, and lasting resonance. Number 7, the allure of mystery, the psychology of strategic self-disclosure. Human attraction operates on principles of curiosity and discovery, a truth Sigma males leverage through masterful control of personal revelation. Stanford psychologists have identified what they call the information gap theory, the phenomenon where our brains become obsessed with filling knowledge voids. This explains why partial disclosure proves far more compelling than complete transparency, particularly in romantic contexts. Sigma males intuitively understand this, revealing themselves in carefully measured increments like a novelist doling out plot points. Clinical studies on interpersonal attraction demonstrate that the ideal rate of self-disclosure follows a J-curve: too little creates disinterest, too much breeds familiarity that kills attraction. Sigmas naturally hit the sweet spot, offering enough substance to demonstrate value while maintaining enough mystery to sustain intrigue. Their conversations resemble Russian nesting dolls, each layer revealing something new while hinting at further depth beneath. This approach capitalizes on several psychological principles. The Zeigarnik effect, our tendency to remember incomplete tasks better than completed ones, makes women continue pondering a Sigma male between interactions. The scarcity principle, valuing what isn't readily available, increases his perceived worth. Anticipatory pleasure, the brain's reward for expecting future rewards, makes time spent with him more exciting. Unlike men who vomit their life story on first dates, Sigmas understand that attraction grows through gradual discovery. They might reveal an unusual hobby but withhold its backstory, or mention an interesting experience without immediately explaining its significance. This creates what psychologists call cognitive involvement, the mental engagement that transforms casual interest into genuine fascination. Each subsequent meeting becomes an archaeological dig, where new layers of personality and experience await careful uncovering. The result is a courtship that feels like reading a captivating novel rather than skimming a Wikipedia page, each chapter delivering satisfying revelations while promising deeper meaning yet to come. This measured approach to self-presentation explains why Sigma males often inspire more intense attraction than their more immediately transparent counterparts. Number 8, the power of emotional strength, the Sigma male's quiet fortitude. Modern psychology reveals that what women truly find attractive extends far beyond physical attributes or material success. While society often glorifies muscular physiques and financial status as markers of masculinity, numerous studies in evolutionary psychology and attachment theory demonstrate that emotional strength consistently ranks as the most compelling trait in long-term partner selection. Sigma males embody this deeper form of strength through their remarkable emotional resilience, the ability to weather life's storms with steady composure while maintaining the courage to be vulnerable when appropriate. Research from Harvard's longitudinal study on adult development confirms that emotional regulation, the capacity to manage and constructively express feelings, correlates more strongly with relationship satisfaction than any superficial measure of success. When a Sigma male demonstrates this balance, remaining unshaken during crises while still capable of shedding tears during poignant moments, he signals a rare psychological wholeness. This duality reflects what psychologists term integrated masculinity, the harmonious blending of traditionally masculine resilience with feminine emotional awareness. Neuroscientific findings explain why this proves so attractive. The brain's mirror neuron system causes women to unconsciously mimic the emotional states of potential partners. A man who maintains calm during stress literally helps his partner feel safer, while his ability to express appropriate vulnerability triggers oxytocin release, the bonding hormone essential for intimacy. Unlike men who either suppress emotions entirely or become overwhelmed by them, the Sigma male's emotional intelligence allows him to navigate feelings with the precision of an expert sailor reading changing winds, using them for propulsion rather than being capsized by them. Final thoughts, the Sigma evolution. When a Sigma male truly understands women, his entire approach transforms. He stops chasing validation and instead attracts through authentic presence. His conversations move beyond small talk to meaningful exchanges that build real connections. This evolution doesn't require sacrificing independence, it's about balancing self-reliance with emotional availability. Sigmas lead with quiet confidence, not arrogance, viewing personal growth as a lifelong journey. Research underscores that emotional intelligence and authentic communication are the bedrock of lasting relationships, qualities where Sigmas naturally excel. The question becomes, will you cling to outdated habits, or embrace this Sigma mindset rooted in respect, confidence, and depth? This shift doesn't just improve your dating life, it transforms your entire existence. The choice is yours. Stay true.